Hi, my two B's, my TikToker, Sheila True Love. I'm home. I'm so happy because it's getting ready to thunderstorm outside right now. Right now, we're going to talk about, and I'm going to share several people's experiences in terms of whether a narcissist can ever truly be happy. No matter what type of relationship narcissists seek, they are never, ever happy. You could trust and believe that. They go about their lives seeking something that is not achievable because their ego, the ego that they created, is their biggest fairy tale. Their biggest fairy tale, especially for them. So let's listen in to several other people's experiences in terms of narcissists. And will they ever truly be happy or satisfied?
Let the house go. Yeah, you have to let the house go. Yeah, the narc will never be happy. They are literally never happy. There's momentary periods when they feel like they're happy, but it's like a bucket with a hole in it. It's just never ending. They want more and more and more and more. Did you ever watch the movie? Humphrey Bogart's my favorite actor, and he and Lauren Bacall and Edward G. Robinson were in a movie, Key Largo, and Edward G. Robinson plays Johnny somebody, and he's a gangster, and he classic narc. And in one of the scenes, Bogey asks him, "Well, what's going to be enough? What's going to be enough?" And he says, "I'll never have enough. I want more. I want more and more." Well, exactly. They never are satisfied. That's why you'll never be enough for them. You can kill yourself, as the church, many churches would have you do. Kill yourself, meeting his needs, being patient, biting your tongue, sacrificing your health to love him and meet his needs. And the church will tell you, he'll change, sweetheart. He'll be different. He'll love you. Lie, lie, lie. And frankly, it's a stupid lie. They're not living in the real world. It's never worked with a narc because it's never stinking enough. Stop. You start thinking of yourself and taking care of yourself and getting the heck away from him.
Well, you heard it. I understand what he's saying, but I'm a firm believer that Jesus Christ can change people. All they have to do is turn their life over to Christ, and that's really hard for narcs to do unless they are putting on a facade, pretending to be a Christian because they know that's what you want or that's what you insist on. And trust me, I've already experienced a narc like that, pretending to be a Christian, but yet you sit up here still smoking cigarettes. Your body is a temple. So as long as they're smoking cigarettes, I know that, this is a facade. But anyway, let's listen to several other people's experiences. And can a narcissist ever really? No, I don't think so. My ex-narc, he had everything with me, but that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. And the thing is, I wish him the best of luck. I wish him the best of luck when it comes to finding him new supply. As you know, I've been hanging out with my ex because he's on his spiritual journey. We've hung out, and people say, be careful, Sheila. Be careful because Satan, the devil, he's probably sent him to try to destroy you. I know I have family members and friends who have told me this, and I let them know he could be Jesus Christ himself, sweetheart. I don't have that kind of interest in him. If you're the type of person, because I've had other people say that they still love the person, they still are in love. No, honey, I'm not in love. Not at all. Not at all. And I meet up with him once a month, and we meet at church. After church, we go out to lunch, and we hang out a little bit, and then he's back on his way, and I'm back on my way. I assure you, there's nothing romantic that I feel for this character. That'll never happen. Never again.
A narcissist happy without you? Are you kidding me? They're not happy within themselves. The narcissist will never be happy. You gotta get out of there. You're holding on to those amazing memories with that narcissist, but that narcissist was only portraying who they thought you wanted them to be. This is why they ask you, what do you like to do? What do you like? Stop telling these demons what you want a good man to be. They're transforming themselves to be that. That's not who they are. Get out of there. That narcissist has all these grandiose ideas that they can't put into play. That's why they chose you. They preyed on you. You got great connections. You got great credit. They using that. Once you take them there, they about to get you out of there. They're going to find somebody else to take them to the next level. Please understand what I'm telling y'all. That narcissist does not love you. Get out of there. Oh.
finally realize that it doesn't matter what you do, the narcissist will never be happy. It's liberating because it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter that you're not focused on this person. It doesn't matter when you were focused on this person. Now you can start turning all that energy and putting that energy back into yourself and focusing on yourself. When you find...
I agree with her. Every word that came out of her mouth. Every morning that I wake up, I always say to myself, it feels so good. And you have no idea. It feels so good being with narc free. And every moment that I wake up, I say, this is another morning, another great morning that I get to take care of myself. I get to take care of Sheila. And that means I eat right. I exercise like I did my exercise. I always walk 2 miles, get 2 or 3 miles, 5 days out of the week of walking. And lately I've been eating spinach omelets when I come home. It feels so good not to have to cook if I choose not to. I have my spinach omelet. I have lots and lots of water. I lay down, I rest, I meditate, I read. I like hanging out with my husband, JC, Jesus Christ. He speaks to me. I have all of these books. And by the way, I want to recommend this book for everyone, all women who are trying to heal themselves. Please. This book here, Healing the Soul of a Woman by Joyce Myers. Because as you know, narcissists are looking for people who are broken. And it's our job to heal ourselves and get the healing that we need. I used to have 5 Bible studies. Now I'm down to 3. And I study with all of them. Well, me and Teresa, we're going to start this one the next time we have our on Sunday. We're going to start Healing the Soul of a Woman. You hear the lightning? Woo, I love it. And I'm home. I love it. Yeah, Healing the Soul of a Woman. Because this helps you if you go through guilt and shame. And this is the best book ever. My son bought this for me. Dear Mama, I love you so. I love you so. Let this be a gift of healing and transformation. I know you will enjoy this. Love, Lewis. And it's the big print. Look at that nice big print. You see that? I love it. This book, and it got the history of women. It has that. And then it has so many awesome topics like this, and it's large print. You could get it on a Kindle also. This is what I wish I could study this book with my daughter. I really, really wish I could study this, but she's a Jehovah's Witness, and they don't encourage you to read anything but their literature. My daughter needs this book. Really. She has this book, and she also has the devotional of this one, How to Overcome Your Emotional Wounds. Please get it. Let's listen in to some other crazy narcs, other people who have experienced the fact that they can never be happy. Here we go.
Will never be happy. Don't think that you can change them. They want you to be perfect and flawed at the same time. They need you to accept their behaviors without question, but will secretly judge you for doing that. If you refuse, they'll punish you for it. They look to you to solve all of their emotional problems. And until they choose to heal, nothing you can do will make them happy. A narcissist will never be happy. Don't think that
If you have been wondering about will a narcissist ever be truly happy, this video is for you. One of the main reasons why narcissists can never be happy is their endless need to extract supply. They always feel they do not have enough, they are not treated fairly, or people are out there to get them. Narcissists only want what they don't have, and whatever they do have, they hate it. As soon as a narcissist actually gets what they want, they start rejecting it. They are never satisfied in life because they are a bottomless pit, and whatever they fill it with, be it a partner, money, sex, or some addiction, it remains empty. Their locus of control is outside, and they depend on external resources to regulate their internal disturbances. If you agree, and make sure to follow for more insights.
I'm going to share with you what the narcissist's biggest weakness is, and it may be surprising to you. Did you know a narcissist is never ever truly happy? Ever. It may look like it. Maybe you've just come out of a relationship with a narcissist, they're hooked up with somebody else, and it looks like everything is perfect. Let me tell you, a narcissist is never truly happy because they need somebody else to constantly make them feel a certain way. And no human being is ever capable of that. That's why at some stage they will heighten their abuse with whoever they are with because they are not giving them the narcissistic supply, which is a narcissist drug of choice, what they need. So I know it may look like they are really, really happy now, maybe in a new relationship, or maybe if it was a narcissistic parent, they're piling on lots of attention to someone else in your family. Let me tell you, they are amongst the most deeply wounded, most unhappy people in this world. May not look like it. So don't focus on them and how happy they may look. They're not. What you should be focusing on is you. How happy can you make yourself? Work on that. Put your blinkers on. Stay in your lane because you deserve to be happy.
And you know what the sad thing is about a narcissist? Is that even when you do all the things that they ask you to do, you're bending over backwards. No matter what you do, guess what happens when you do all of these things? They become very bored. They become very bored. There's no such thing as happiness with these creatures. Basically, they want to stay miserable and they want to drag everyone else down along with them.
Have you ever noticed that narcissists do not want you to be happy? If you laugh, you have joy, or something good happens to you, they get jealous. Have you ever noticed that? It's like, oh, look what great thing happened to me today. And they're like, oh. And you're like, you just want to celebrate it. Something, you've been working hard, you get a promotion, maybe you graduated, maybe you did something you worked for a really, really long time on it, and they just are not happy with you. Why do you think that is? Because everything has to be about the narcissist. The narcissist can't allow you to have something that they don't have. So if you have something going good for them, that means something's not happening to them. And how dare that happen? Everything good has to happen to them, not you. So they're not going to be supportive. They're not going to celebrate your wins with you. They're actually going to be sneaking around, making you actually feel, they sabotage your wins. If that's happened to you, let me know in the comments.
I actually experienced that. Yes, she said, like she said, if it happened to you, leave your comment. Yes, I have experienced that, even with family members who couldn't be happy when I wrote a book, when I was successful. They didn't support me. When my channel was doing very well, they didn't support me. When I got raises and promotions at my job, no support. I have Bible studies and actually have people getting baptized after we study the book. Like I told you, once I finished with Healing for the Soul with Joyce Myers, with my Bible studies, since they got baptized when they were babies, they get rebaptized, and these family members couldn't even be happy for me. As you know, I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness, and they could never, the only thing they want to see happen to me is my downfall. They're looking forward to seeing me fall by the wayside, an alcoholic, homeless, drug addict, beat up on AML films, Invisible People, Soft White Underbelly. That's what they want for me. That Jehovah's Witness organization is a very narcissistic organization. And if you can stay there knowing, and with all the information that's out here about this organization, you are a narcissist. I'm sorry. And I know someone, she knows who she is. No matter what you do, no matter how much love, no matter how much attention you pour into this girl, she was like a cup with holes where you poke holes in this cup, and the more you pour in, it was never enough. She wants things from Macy's, Saks Fifth Avenue. Nothing was good enough. Even her children spoke to me one time. They said they was quiet, was sneaking. No matter what we do, she's never satisfied. And I knew they were telling the truth. Trust me, I knew it. But anyway, darling, being with a narcissist also, you're going to find that you're always so drained. You're always so tired. They're exhausting.
Are you kidding me? You're still in bed?
Yeah, we don't have to leave for like another hour and a half is what we discussed. What about breakfast? Did you forget that we need to get breakfast? And just because we're on vacation doesn't mean that you need to sleep the entire time. Like, do you think that that's actually healthy for you? Is that the type of person that you want to be?
That's life with the narc. You can't even enjoy vacation, honey.
The narcissist will never, ever be happy with you. This is how it works. Narcissists are like a large bucket with a...
Hold on, I gotta take that because they got music on it.
Narcissists are never happy. They will go from person to person to person, destroying lives, moving on to the next empty adventure. They live in a fantasy world. They're completely delusional. They will be forever, searching for the things that simply don't exist. You can move on and be happy, and you can love again. They simply can't. No.
Hey y'all, so I wanted to continue the conversation that I was having on the live. And I want to tell you that while you sitting around here upset about a narcissist changing for a new supply, you got to understand this is more than just some bad mood. This is a personality disorder that they have. They have arrested development, you know. And I like I said before, the empath and the narcissist may have both had traumatic experiences in their life, but the empath chose to be the people pleaser and to see the other person's point of view to survive in their environment.
I had to pause that for a brief because I am an empath, and no, I'm not a people pleaser. I am healed. You know, normally when you are still wounded and you're still broken, then you are a people pleaser. But like I said, I put the work in. I went into counseling, 5 men and 5 women, psychiatrists, psychologists. I didn't want nobody who didn't have a PhD behind their name. I did my research. I did my studies. I prayed about it. Joyce Myers, between that, I am completely healed. And one of the things that helped me to heal, you know, most people, they want closure. When I learned about narcissists and what narcissism is all about, ASSC was the first one who helped me. Once I realized how they could go about hurting people that they claim that they love, I was almost instantly healed, really. Because I didn't understand, how could you say you love someone and you could do them so rotten? That was the part that was hurting me. And that kept hurting and hurting. But the more I learned about narcissists, the more I understood how and why they do what they do. It's the same as someone who's bipolar and don't take their medication. They behave that way because they're bipolar. Someone who is schizophrenic don't take medication. Look at how weird and bizarre they are. Look at how they act because they're schizophrenic. Someone with ADHD without medication, they're hyper, they can't focus, they whatever. Why are they doing that? Why are they like that? Because they have ADHD. It's the same thing with narcissists. How and why do they behave the way that they behave? Because they are, you guessed it,
You know, to adapt and to be the people pleaser to get their needs met. Where the narcissist became the taker to get their needs met. So you may have had traumatic experiences in your life and, you know, made you more susceptible to the narcissist. But they will never be happy with a new supply. Like I said, imagine yourself as that new supply, or even it's a recycled supply that became a new supply. Imagine yourself laying in the bed after a great night of romance. You drift off to sleep and a narc is on the phone stalking another person's Facebook, Instagram, commenting through anonymous profiles, or texting and hitting different phone numbers, stalking you. Imagine you being that person. They may think they're happy, but they're not. And they have to see, a lot of us experience post-separation abuse. Because you got to understand the narcissist has to abuse somebody. So because they don't want to abuse their new supply, they have to abuse you because they want to hold that mask up, and they get off on abusing people. That is the reason why they love bomb. It's not because they want to love you. It's a part of the abuse cycle to increase the dopamine in your brain, to start the addiction process, right? Because when they start to devalue you, even the drips of devalue starts the cortisol. So that's the trauma bond connection, the link. So they have to, they want to continue that love bomb phase for as long as they want, need to get that person locked in. And some of them have been in and out of relationships, and they want a lifelong abuse, a person to abuse. So they're trying to hold off on abusing so they get a side piece to abuse. But they still have to abuse their home person or their main supply. But the reason why they do a lot of post abuse is because they are still trying to hang on to the mask with the new person. So abusing you gets them that satisfaction of that dark supply they need. They get the dark supply from abusing you, while they still get the good supply, the compliments and the love bombing and all that with the new or recycled supply. But you got to understand, eventually that person will get it because an abuser has to abuse. You're not missing anything. And I know that's easier said than done. But understand, if you are a person laying next to a person that's would you want to be married or in a relationship with a person that's stalking another person's page, another person's Facebook, Instagram? Would you want to be that person? That person is not happy. Understand that, okay?
Thank you.
If you think that a narcissist is happy, you're wrong. A narcissist is never happy. Why? Because a narcissist can never be happy. Why? Because a narcissist will never submit to God. They will never submit to what is right. They will never be on the right side of the coin, the argument. They will always try to be the one that makes their wrong fair seeming. They will always try to make wrong look right. They will never do right. They will never act right. They're more interested in their wrong.
I noticed one of the things he said is that a narcissist will never submit to God. Like I told you, I'm dealing with my ex-husband, full-blown narc, full-blown. And he says he turns his life over to God in Christ. I know that Jesus can change people. I've seen it with my own two eyes. How people have turned their life over to Christ and they've made a miraculous change. At the same time, I'm still very cautious and very careful. Because I'm noticing that when I go to church with him, when we go to church, it's all women. He's the only man there. When he's on the prayer line, he's the only man there. Now he says he keeps trying to preach to men and trying to get them to join in on the prayer line, but men are not interested. Maybe one other man may come in, everything else is women. We go to church, it's all women. You have maybe 2 men, 3 men in the whole church. 2 of them, they had a nice church because they had like a kitchen area where you could go and buy plates of food. I had collard greens. I had fried chicken. I was like, yes. They give you the physical food and the spiritual food. Nice. Another place like that is a Grace Fellowship. Oh, man, if I had a car, because in the Uber, it cost me like $20 one way, and then I would have to pay $20. That's too much to keep going, and I wanted to be consistent. But they have food, the spiritual food, fellowship. They have women's group, they have teenage group, they have men's group, they have crochet, they have aerobics. It's a place where Christians just hang out with other Christians. I love Grace Fellowship. And this other place that I went to in Jersey with my girlfriend. Oh my God, totally greatest sermons that will keep you spiritually upbuilt for at least 6 or 7 days until you get your next spiritual feeding. But him saying that a narcissist will never submit to God, yeah, I know people who have changed their life, but they probably weren't a narc. That's probably what that was. But anyway, let's get back to narcissists and how they are never, ever going to be happy or satisfied.
Realised how the narcissist...
Hold on.
Have you ever realised how the narcissist
was never ever happy in the relationship with you, or you're in the relationship and you realize that there's so many things that are going wrong, and it's funny because they always blame you. You are always the issue. You see, the thing is, what they are doing here is they're externalizing the blame, because they have this internal narrative that basically is telling them that they are not good enough, that they are awful, that they have to never take on the blame. So that's why they always blame you. That's why they always externalize it and say that you are the issue. And what happens is you internalize it and think that you have to change this dynamic in some way, that it's your responsibility, that you have to fix this. That's what the narcissist does. They are never going to see it from your point of view. They are never going to take responsibility for their actions, because they don't want to change. Why would they need to change? That's all part of their dysfunctional ego. They're always having to say that somebody else is the issue. And also they compartmentalize. They put people and situations into boxes and they pack them away. So when they're with you, they're one person. When they're with someone else, they're another person. When they're in another situation, they're another person. Like, strange, I know. But that's what narcissists are doing. That's why they are never happy. They don't live in the moment. They live in this dysfunctional ego, this dysfunctional brain that they have. And so there's never any contentment. They're not able to self-soothe. This is why it's always your fault.
So I'm sitting here looking on Google and it says, can a narcissist change? It says, if you are in a relationship with a narcissistic abuser, hoping for things to change, don't hold your breath. Narcissists hold themselves in such high regard that everyone else, including their partner, is beneath them. And because they feel that way, there's no reason for them to change. And that's how they feel. So they say, is there a cure? It says, while the narcissist may be in treatment, because they have to be in treatment for at least 20 years. And even that will not, there is no cure for narcissism. Once your brain has been rewired or formed a certain way because they didn't know how to handle whatever happened to them in their childhood, a lot of people, we get over it. We build a bridge and get over it. They just couldn't seem to get over it. Whatever, child. But anyway, it says that it may reduce the symptoms, but there is no cure. I say the only one that could cure a narcissist, and I'm a firm believer, Jesus Christ can definitely cure them. What is impossible for humans is not impossible for Christ. Please know that. Let's see what we got else.
A narcissist, nothing is enough for a narcissist. And this is their demise, because a narcissist is never satisfied with what they have. They're not satisfied with who they're with. They're not satisfied with their surroundings, okay? A narcissist can never be happy with what they have. And this is their downfall, because they lose good people, always thinking the grass is greener somewhere else, okay? Always striving for something better, okay? Something that doesn't exist. So a narcissist goes in a circle, but a narcissist is just greedy, because greedy people are never satisfied with what they got.
And I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. Ramney. You know, she reminds her clients that when it comes to the narcissist being in therapy, the narcissists have to do the work. It's their responsibility to do the work, not yours. And even then, most of these narcissists can never, ever change. How sad is this?
Hi, Kingdom. Narcissists are never satisfied. Narcissists are never happy. Narcissists never appreciate anything or anyone. That everything you do is wrong. Everything you say is wrong. They always find fault with everything and everyone. They are never satisfied. You can't satisfy them. They can't satisfy themselves. So how on God's earth would we expect that we could satisfy them? So we continue to play this game with them, trying to be this perfect person, trying to do everything right. And regardless of what you do and how much you do, they are never satisfied. They're very ungrateful. They're just leeches that go around and use and abuse people to their benefit for what they want. Narcissists are never happy and they're never satisfied. They're just really sad.
I'm looking here where it says, do narcissists do what they do intentionally? And it says, narcissists and psychopaths are well known for a tactic known as baiting. They deliberately provoke you so that you emotionally react and swallow their blame-shifting hook, line, and center. Let me tell you something. One of the lessons that I've learned in life, I'm going to post that also. What would you tell your younger self? One of the lessons I've learned in life is a lot of the times we can't change what happens to us. You know, we can't change the things that happen to us. But what we can do is we can decide how we will respond. That's where your power lies. That's where your power comes from. You still have the power. We don't have the power to change a lot of the things that happen to us, but we do have the power in terms of how we respond. Let's look at some more narcs, how they can't exchange.
I had someone ask, how do I make...
Narcissists don't live happily ever after. You know that, I know that. Why do you know that, and why do I know that? We know that because were they happy with us? Are they happy before us? Were they happy after us? No. How can you be happy when you're lying to people, when you're manipulating people? Like, how? I don't understand. Like, how are you meant to live a good life? How are you meant to be happy? Yeah, you might get what you need if you manipulate people, whether that's money, shelter, sex, whatever it is. Yes, you get what you need. But are you really happy? Right? Because there's a difference between what you need and what you want. And yes, they may say to you, okay, I want a family, and, you know, they end up getting you pregnant, or you end up getting married, and then they find somebody else. If you are truly happy, how is it so easy for you to move on to the next person? Please tell me that. If you're truly happy, how is it so easy for you to forget your past? How, if you are truly happy, make it make sense. Like, someone who's not happy are going to say to their partner, spouse, whatever, I'm not happy. Then you will know that they're not happy. They don't live happily ever after. It's a lie. It's a facade. Don't buy into it, because I'm sure not buying into it.
So here someone asked, do narcissists ever regret their actions? It says some narcissists may be able to feel bad about something they've done to hurt someone else. It isn't guilt that they feel so much as regret or even anger that things happened the way they did. But any remorse that they feel is likely to be about how that behavior affected them, how it affected them, rather than how it affected the victim. So there you have it. Do narcissists, can they ever be happy? Will they ever be happy? Narcissists will never be happy, and they will never, ever be satisfied. Bye, darlings. Don't forget, please, I'm begging you, Healing the Soul of a Woman. And when you get the book, call me up. I leave my number in the description, and text message me and whatever. We could read it together and study it together if you like. We could do it on FaceTime, or we could do a Zoom. I love you.